Well, oh God.
Got the Ravens hat on, huh?
I got you guys support the team even in losses. It was a surprising weekend for a few teams across the league. Definitely a fun week two in the NFL. Thank you guys so much for tuning back in to Section 300. I'm your boy G along with Alec here for another great episode. Subscribe to the show online. Follow us on TikTok and IG at Section.300. Follow us on Twitter at Section300 Sports, excuse me. And yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, oh man. So week two in the NFL surely was a sight to behold. Was a fun weekend across the board, start to finish. Thursday night was a great one with the Chargers and Chiefs. And then going on throughout the rest of the weekend, there are plenty of surprises that we witnessed and definitely enjoyed it all. Because I have the hat on, I'll start with my Ravens. The Ravens blew a 3-touchdown lead to the Dolphins. Me and Alec both picked the Ravens to win and cover the 3.5-point spread that they were given, and they missed on both of those. It was a surprising loss. I was actually, my apologies. Okay, I actually was at work in the morning during the game, so I didn't even get to witness it all. But what I remember was I believe it was the fourth quarter. I checked right at the start of it. We were up like 35-14. And I was like, all right, I'm chilling. Fantasy wise,
that's what the defense said too.
I had Bateman on my squad, and he got points from me. So I'm like, okay, I'm off to a good start. We're off and great. Ravens 2-0. I can breathe easy today. The day goes on. All of a sudden, people keep coming up to me. Garrett, you see what happened? Garrett, you see what happened? I'm like, well, we were up 3 touchdowns. What y'all talking about? He was like, well, I have some news. Two of them boys came back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
And overcame a three touchdown deficit in the fourth and got the victory and came back, like I said, and won. What was that officially? 42-38. So Tua put on a show. It was Tua time. It seems like it may finally be here. We may discuss that later on. But definitely a surprising loss for the Ravens. The defense had a great start, and they were able to hold that Dolphins squad, that high-powered squad, to 14 points through 3.5 quarters or so. But that fourth quarter, as you said, they just chilled and the Dolphins took advantage. So definitely was a surprising thing. I won't say that this will be a theme across the rest of the season, but I do think it's a wake-up call to say, even when you think you have things in the bag, we got to make sure you are putting the gas and not let any team, because there's a lot of high-powered teams across the league. We can't let anybody come back on us. So definitely a great learning lesson for us.
Yeah. Are you at all a little concerned about the defense there, especially the secondary?
Because of how we started, no. Yes, the comeback is very worrying, and yes, during that comeback, we saw some things that should raise some eyebrows in regards to Kyle Hamilton looking lost at times, and the defense not fully being in sync, and Marcus Peters and who are just now back getting beat a few times as we saw by all that speed that the Dolphins have out there. But I do think that those are things that can be schematically fixed, as well as just physically with these guys that are back and getting their health under control. That will improve throughout the rest of the season. So I'm not as concerned as I see many other Ravens fans today. I'm chilling.
Okay, I get it. Tempering the disappointment, I guess, of that collapse, you could say, like in the fourth
it was
quarter.
A collapse. There's no doubt about it. Like, it's definitely a dramatic moment, and for those that want to be dramatic, I'm not going to stop you. But just from how I've been taking an approach to this team, as you've seen the last couple of seasons, I've been laid back, let them figure it out, and I know as time goes on, the process will work itself out, and we'll be a team that'll be a force to be reckoned with. And I think this is just more of the growing pains. I think we're very close to that team that I believe we can be, and you have to have a moment like this, I believe, that sometimes to really make that next step. So I believe this will only help us in the long run.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough to blow a 3-touchdown lead in the fourth at home too.
No, Miami was at home, right? It was in Miami. It was Miami, right? Or I missed that. Oh no, you're right. My bad.
Yeah, I think it was in Baltimore. Yeah.
It seemed like it was Miami the way they had control of the thing in the fourth quarter. That's what it was.
It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I will say a large credit goes to Mike McDaniel just for how he's schemed that offense too,
Absolutely.
and passing some of the looks and really taking advantage of the speed on the outside that he has between Waddle and Tyreek. And because those guys, I mean, credit to the organization too in building the roster, bringing in guys that are great after the catch and elite speed wise to really like accentuate Tua's strengths, which are accuracy and not so much his arm strength. So credit to them making those roster moves and making that head coaching hire, because it seems like it's a good one. He's early candidate for coach of the year, just the way they've started off. But yeah, that was a tough look for a Ravens team that we have high expectations for, even if we are tempering them a bit on your end.
Right.
We believe that they can be ultimately Super Bowl contenders. So that was a tough loss, but I think when the season kind of shakes out, the loss probably won't look as bad because I believe the Dolphins will be a pretty strong team going forward.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but just got to bounce back in a major way. And also credit to Lamar. I mean, Lamar had an insane game himself, and continued that, like I said, MVP campaign where I'm pumping that narrative every week for sure as he continues to perform.
And yeah, he's living up to it right now. It's a great start.
Yeah, I mean, he's carrying much of the load. I mean, guys have made the catches in Bateman and Duvernay. And Andrews had a good week this week against the Dolphins, but he's carrying much of the load, especially rushing the ball too as they await Dobbins' return.
I was going to say his legs definitely still work. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. His arm looks like it's great as well. Like I hope people are seeing the throws he's making. Like he's pinning the needle right now. He's definitely looking good. So definitely love to see that with him and his Ravens squad, even in defeat. I think there's still a lot we can build on, and I'm excited to see how things go forward. There was a long list of the injury report that came out just today, Wednesday evening. So we'll see how this team looks going forward. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we have our quick picks later on. But yeah, I think we will still be at top of the AFC North as we both projected. And I'm excited to see how we bounce back after that surprising loss. So yeah, fun things with Baltimore. And as we want to focus on as well, all of our LA squads, both of them had some surprising games this weekend. The Rams should have blown out the Falcons as you predicted, but as I said, I thought it was going to be a close one. Seeing how the Rams
were blowing them out. That's the thing. Like they were up 20.
As I also said, I thought the Falcons were going to find a way to keep it close at some point, and they did just that, finding their way, even through some miraculous plays or whatever, fought their way back in the very end and almost stole the victory. Losing though 31-27. So definitely was a valiant effort by them in the end. And I'm glad that the Rams held on. What do you think of that game?
So that game I didn't actually get to see. I was traveling out to the Valley, but just like I saw the score was 28-3 or whatever. So like I was like, okay, they got this in the bag. And then we checked the score later, and it was like 31-27. We're like, what happened? Like, how did this Rams team allow this to happen? And especially was confused because I'm seeing clips of Jalen Ramsey like pumping his chest and shit. And like y'all won by 4 points against the Falcons. Like I don't understand what you're so excited about.
I posted that clip of him saying I'm him. And
like how down bad are we if you're now pumping your chest?
I didn't want to point that part out, but yeah, it was like you're saying that after barely beating the Falcons. Like, what are we really talking about? Y'all played you weren't saying that against Stephon Diggs last week.
No,
that was a different story. So
certainly not.
Yeah, that definitely was something that I was aware of, but wanted to see if you would say the same thing. So yeah, interesting. Very interesting.
I was very confused by that optic of seeing him puff his chest out after that. Interesting. Like,
I love when they count me out.
Maybe he's certainly hearing the noise that he might be washed, and I think it's for good reason. He's not quite the same guy as he has been.
I don't think right now shutting down Drake London exactly proves that.
And he wasn't really shut down like Drake.
That too. Yeah, we'll move on. Anyways, but still some room to improve for the Rams, and hopefully they continue to build off this victory. Want to see some more definitive wins from them going forward. Want to see that this team came with the team we saw last year and
Yeah.
can push for another Super Bowl. So they have some chances coming up that we'll talk about. But I just we need to see more consistency from them and just them being able to hold on to leads as we just saw. They had the lead early on and things were flowing a little bit, and they let them put up the gas and the Falcons came back. So just want to see them continue to build and excited for that.
It was nice to see as they needed to get Allen Robinson more involved. It was nice to see them get him involved.
Matt saw the tweets. He saw them tweets.
Yeah, he better. And I think Sean McVay directly put the word in come on, we need to get our prize offseason acquisition.
They threw it to him 11 times, right?
more than 2 targets, please.
They threw him the ball. They're like, we're not doing this. You can get the ball every time you want now. Y'all not about to do this to us. So I'm glad they got him involved, and I love what that could do for this offense going forward. Now having both those threats with him with Kupp out there on the field. So definitely a great thing.
Monster. Kupp still putting up monster games like clockwork.
Still him. Yeah. Still him. So, great to see there. I'm glad they held on and looking forward to how they bounce back, as I said. Then lastly, as I said, Thursday night, Chargers-Chiefs. Chargers fought hard against the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are still just
that game went exactly how we thought it would. Very close game, and we give the edge to the Chiefs in a close one. So, for as I tried to say, the Chiefs would be the team that would be victorious in that division, and they showed yet again why I believe it'll play out. They think that game played out as I thought it would go. Definitely a great effort from them. The Chargers still got room to improve. Justin went down with a rib injury. Nope, he's okay. Definitely could be a big deterrent to the season. There's definitely some bright spots there. Love the connection between him and Mike Williams all game long, and definitely could build on that. If they can get Keenan Allen healthy and involved in this offense as well.
As well. So they can just get all these guys clicking and healthy and all of that. I think the Chargers still can be a team to be reckoned with. So, what were your takeaways from the game?
I thought Herbert looked good from what I saw. Still spreading the ball around, but like you said, is established a nice connection with Mike Williams early. He had that nice one-handed grab in his zone. Like I was saying too, it seems like he's got a steady connection with Gerald Everett. And multiple media outlets have talked about the play where he threw the pick six, and he was targeting Gerald Everett after he was calling out because he was gassed. So that was an unfortunate turn of events there for them, but it's clear that he sees Gerald Everett as someone he can trust going to in tight spaces and when the game's close. So it seems like he has his guys between those two and Keenan Allen, but he also got the ball to Joshua Palmer. I believe he got a touchdown as well. Herbert's not afraid to spread the ball around, and he is top 5-6 quarterback in the league right now.
Definitely.
And he's showing why. Hopefully the rib injury isn't too bad and he's able to play through it, but
I just smile when you said that, because definitely talent wise, he definitely is one of those top 5-6 guys, and absolutely he deserves to be up in that tier. But just across the league, we've seen some impressive quarterback play from unexpected guys everywhere, and we'll get to more of that later on. But the top 5, just in regards to who's producing the most right now, might not exactly be who we expected.
No,
so
not at all.
It's been a very interesting start to the season. So definitely we'll get to more of those things later on.
On the Chiefs side, I'll just say that Patrick Mahomes is who we thought he was, who we know he is at this point.
Nothing's changed.
It wasn't a terribly good start, but he made the throws when he needed them most, and they got the key touchdown late and were able to pull it out. And we trust in him and Kelsey and Andy Reid and Bieniemy. So it's just more of the same what we expect. And like you said, we said, they're both. The Chiefs and the Chargers are in contention for top of that AFC West. It'll be between those two teams, and we may get a Chargers close win in Los Angeles when they play again. But the thing for the Chargers is we've seen the talent. We have high expectations for them this season. It's always been those close games. They don't tend to pull those out. So for the Chargers to flip the script on that narrative for them as a team and as an organization, they're going to have to win some of these close games that they continue to lose. So
And when it gets to there, that's when coaching really comes into play. So Brandon Staley has his decision making is coming to question a few times now. Hopefully he can make the adjustments and learn from the mistakes of the past and can make sure that when as this team goes forward, they make the right moves to get victories in these situations as they go on. So excited to see how all across the board this team improves, and definitely gonna be fun things to continue to follow on the rest of the season. So great things there. Lastly, just a quick note that I wanted to mention. As you kind of heard, as we've been talking today and just in the past, we've mentioned, I've been working and catch games as I can, and we come here and talk about it a little bit. You are on the move and you're doing your thing as well. We are, how do I call it? We are, what do I call it? FCBC, for casuals by casuals. We have no problem saying that we're casuals. We're also adding some insight to what we see each week. Definitely, I'm still enjoying, can have conversations about the game as you guys have been following. But we are not trying to say that there's been this rising thing where everybody online thinks they're experts. We're not here to be experts. We're here to have conversations with the fans. We're fans, and hopefully you guys watching our fans as well. And just want to have good dialogue about all that's going on. So there have been times where we've been active on TikTok and things where we post things and you're like, oh, that's a casual take. We're casuals. Like, what do you want me to say? So I have no problem owning that. And that seems to be a thing that has tried to be a diss in recent years among sports fans. But I have no problem owning that. I'm a casual, but can still have good conversations about what's going on. So we are FCBC. I like that. For casuals by casuals. Just wanted to make that point. So definitely a fun week 2 that we just witnessed. Definitely gonna be a fun week 3. But as you guys know, we have some things that we saw throughout the week that we want to talk about. So now we will jump into the hymn zone.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get like a little graphic or a little.
Yeah, we gotta the graphic. I said that kind of corny, to be honest. Just now, I don't want to water it down as I've seen other people doing that because people are trying to find out about him and the thing that people like to say. And we're not going to water it down
a little bit.
We're not going to water it down, nothing like that. We're going to keep it as it's supposed to be, and make sure that the rest of y'all don't mess it up. So back in the hymn zone for week 2. Alec, you want to start off with who you saw for your best performances?
Absolutely, back with the hymn zone, the guys that had one-of-one type performances this week. As we said, it's a week-to-week thing, so the things can change, and we will power rank them as the season goes on for sure. It's not an indictment on the guy's whole career if they're on if they're on the not him side or whatever. But on the him side, first up, the guy that led that comeback against your Ravens, Tua, 469 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Gotta tip the cap, man.
It's a one-of-one type game. Like a lot of guys, Hall of Fame guys, some haven't even had performances like that. And there were a lot of blown coverages. Like he was hitting the guys, he was making the throws. So got it as you did. Tip the cap to him. 21-point comeback in the fourth quarter. That insane. Looked like they were dead in the water. So.
As a guy, people keep on doubting and saying he's not really him, and that the Dolphins need to find the next guy to be understanding for this team, this high-powered offense, and all that. For him to silence all the noise and show that all the tank for Tua and all this stuff was worth it, and that he really is him. Definitely deserves a tip of the cap, especially coming against my team. So salute to him for a great performance last week.
And then number 2, it's 2 guys, Waddle / Tyreek. I got them together.
Dang, you just piling on my team? All right.
they damn near had the exact same day. Both had 11 catches and 2 touchdowns each. And Waddle had 171 yards and Tyreek had 190. They were just feasting on that Ravens defense.
You said the exact stats, but I saw another thing that was like I think it's the first time ever, or one of the first times ever, that we've had 2 teammates both go for 10 plus receptions, 150 plus yards, and 2 touchdowns each. Like, you don't get performances like that. So definitely got to again tip the cap to both of them for great performances. I don't know if Tyreek was right about Tua being the most accurate quarterback in the world or whatever he said, but he did more than enough to show that he should have faith in him under center. So definitely salute to all of them for a great performance.
Waddle and Tyreek probably felt like they were going against the practice squad in the fourth quarter. For
sure. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that.
At number 3, got another booming performance in a blowout. Stephon Diggs, Let's see, he had 12 catches, 148 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was embarrassing that secondary, those young corners that the Titans have out there.
It was
41-7, I believe, was the final score. Josh Allen could be on this list too because he continues to carve up defenses. But Diggs gets the nod here with those 3 touchdowns. That was a great performance, and I think he was saying I'm him once again as well.
He was saying I'm him. He was demanding the ball. There was a point, I think, in the third quarter where they got down to like 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, and he was standing lined up on the outside, lined up one-on-one against one of the rookie corners. And instead of going for it, they tried to drop the defense off sides. And Stephon, you can see him on the side, was pissed. Like, yo, I've been cooking this dude all game. Like, just throw me the ball. Like, why are we doing all these extra scheme things to do that when I can just do my thing? And he came up in the very next possession and had that 3rd touchdown to really ice things for that game. So he was in the zone like we rarely ever see. Fantasy-wise, it was funny because we saw how great of a performance that, as you just mentioned, Tyreek and Jalen had. And they should have been top performers of the week. But they had like 42 points, 41 points, and somehow Stephon Diggs shot past them and had like 45. So he, even without great performance, those two had, he found a way to outshine the both of them with his individual game against the Titans. That was on Monday. So yeah, definitely salute to him for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then this next guy, former Trojan, so you'll like that. Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's killing it since week 13 of last season. He's been killing it every single week. Like him and Jared Goff clearly have a rapport there. He's seeing like 12 targets a game every single game. Yeah, and he's converting most of them into catches. He had 9 catches, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then 68 yards rushing on 2 attempts. So he was all over the field. He was killing the Commanders, and he was feasting. And he's looking like, I mean, right now, I think he's top 5 wide receiver as far as stats goes. He's looking like he could have a top 10 receiver year this year.
Absolutely.
He looks great. I mean, USC has no problem turning like receivers into pros. The issue is more with the quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's
receivers tend to do pretty well for them at the pro level, and Amon-Ra is a great example of that for sure.
Absolutely. He's been cooking. People weren't sure he would make this leap after last season. He showed great flashes last year, but to now take the next step from that as the clear number 1 in that offense definitely has been great to see. I've seen folks fantasy-wise that I keep alluding back to. People still don't know to the point that he's still on a lot of people's benches, and they were like, wait, what? He had 30 points on my bench? I didn't see that coming.
That's a must.
Yeah, so he's now definitely a must-start. People learn their lesson after just 2 weeks. Like, he has shown that he could be that guy. And yeah, I'm just glad to see the success. Gosh, the success he's continuing to have. Excuse me. Yeah. So yeah, definitely salute to him for that.
Yeah. And then lastly, on the him side, I got Garrett Wilson, the rookie. He had 8 catches, 102 yards, 2 touchdowns in that comeback win over the Browns. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Flacco is top 5 in passing yards.
Elite. Didn't do it against my team, but hey, I knew he was still him. He's still there somewhere.
I guess so. But yeah, Garrett Wilson, that's a great. People talked about kind of comparing the breakout that Justin Jefferson had in his rookie season, like week 2 or 3, with a similar type game. Garrett Wilson potentially could carry on that type of performance for the rest of the season. And even with Zach Wilson, it might be a slight upgrade the way Wilson likes to sling it.
Yeah, we shall see.
So we'll see how he continues the rest of the year. But those were my 5 or 6 guys, because Waddle and Tyreek were a duo there.
No running backs this week?
No real him type performances for me. Nick Chubb had 3 touchdowns, but it wasn't like a huge yardage day for him either.
And they lost that game, right? To the Jets. Yeah, to the Jets.
Yeah, to the Jets. So
yeah, you can't give them that.
They weren't really big. Like Jonathan Taylor got blanked by Jacksonville.
Right.
Derrick Henry continues to get off to a slow start. Dalvin, same thing. Saquon, thought we were going to have a pretty big game against the Panthers. Not so much.
No.
So, yeah, there wasn't really a huge running back performance this week like that.
Gotcha.
But the MVP, I was looking at Tua, and he looked like the guy, but I'm going to give it to Amon-Ra. I think he's having a really killer start to the season, and I think it'll continue. Like I don't think it's a fluke. And he had a huge day. So I'm gonna give it to Amon-Ra for the MVP.
I like that. I respect that, of course, USC guy. So definitely salute to him for that. In regards to him, dominance is the person that comes to mind. And Stephon Diggs looked untouchable on Monday night. So I have to say, if I put my vote in for one of your guys, it has to be Diggs for that one. So yeah, I like Amon-Ra a whole lot. He had a great performance, but Diggs looked like he was one of one. Like there was nothing you could do with Diggs on Monday.
Dave Davis was out and he absorbed all those targets.
Exactly. He did everything you needed for him to do and more. So I have to say Diggs is my him of the week, MVP of the week there. So definitely a fun one. And before we get to mine, let's actually go ahead and do the flip of yours. Do you have a not MVP as well?
Yeah. Real quick too. I had honorable mentions. Lamar. We talked about him already. Jalen Hurts. Great start to the season, the first 2 weeks. Josh Allen, of course. Carson Wentz, who you touched on. I think he's top 3 in overall passing yards, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's looking like how he was in that MVP discussion early in those Philadelphia years. So we'll see. And then Cooper Kupp continues. Like, he could probably be on this list every single week. So I'm just giving him the honorable mention because it's like LeBron in the MVP voting. Like, you don't want to keep voting for him every year.
You got LeBron status already after 2 weeks?
Okay. Like, he's doing it every single week.
Okay. All right, I'll do that.
He had maybe the best wide receiver year ever, too, last year. So, not him. Ryan Tannehill. This Tennessee offense looks abysmal. He had 117 yards passing and 2 interceptions. Part of that is not all on him because they don't really have a down the field threat, but the offense looks abysmal and he's looked very pedestrian. So
I will say this. It's not fully to the same extent as this team because they were a little bit more well-rounded, but it's starting to feel a little bit like the Jared Goff Rams a little bit, where like they gotta just flip that quarterback and the right quarterback in that system will figure it out and help elevate them a lot higher than maybe we expected. Obviously the Rams had been a Super Bowl team already and got Stafford and kind of right the wrongs that they have of Goff and got to the Super Bowl and got to do their thing. But just as a team that feels like it's a quarterback away, even with other things going on, I feel like if they got another guy in there besides Tannehill, because Tannehill has not fully got it done on that squad and has come up short when they needed him. If they can find that quarterback, because I think they don't have a full, they don't have a true deep threat. As you said. I still think that the right quarterback could make use of Treylon Burks and make use of Robert Woods and having Derrick Henry in the backfield. I think the right quarterback could really take advantage of. And I don't think Tannehill's doing that. So, I feel like the Titans, I don't know if they can find their version of a Stafford out there. I couldn't think of one off the top of the head who could be a potential guy on the move. But, I think that they got to figure that out. Malik Willis is nice as well, but still has shown that he has some things to learn as well, too, in that backfield. So
maybe they should have traded for Jimmy G when the sweepstakes were going on the offseason.
True. Maybe that was the one. I don't know, but they got to figure out something because they were our pick to be the top of that division, and they started up 0-2 so far. So I don't know if they're going to have enough time to bounce back, even with the Colts and other teams struggling as well. So, we'll see about that. But, I agree that Tannehill is not him this week.
Number 2, Kirk Cousins. You like that? I don't like that.
Nope.
Kirk Cousins, 221 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. 2 of them, I think, were to Darius Slay. They looked really bad against the Eagles. And we were expecting a more competitive game, just the way they started off and how electric the connection between Kirk and Justin Jefferson was.
Well, I did ask in our quick picks. I was like, there is some kind of thing about Kirk Cousins in big games.
He continues to choke in prime time.
I was concerned already, and he did not help himself at all. So, definitely a bad performance there.
I mean, if we expect Justin Jefferson to be the offensive player of the year, him and Kirk are going to need to be on the same page, and Kirk was not quite there against the Eagles.
Last thing. I still think Justin could be player of the year, but as I told you, I don't think Kirk can be the guy for the most yards. Around. I'm telling you, he'll get Justin the ball, but the rest of them guys, it's tough for him. So, we saw that on display on Monday.
I don't think he's eclipsed like 280 yet this year.
Nasty,
so,
nasty. Yeah, not him.
This third guy is on your fantasy team, Kyle Pitts. 2 straight weeks with 2 catches for 19 yards. Now
3.9, exactly 3.9 fantasy points each week so far. Not happy about that.
It's a nasty look. I'm not 100% blaming it on him.
No.
Arthur Smith had some questionable comments in the post game about trying to win games and it not being fantasy football. But if you're trying to win games, you'd think you would try to target your tight end who you drafted like 5th overall.
Yeah, it's like take fantasy out of it. You drafted him 4th overall. Use him. You don't draft a decoy as your 4th pick.
And he's supposed to be like
a cornerstone,
the best tight end prospect like ever, maybe. So
and he still has the build. He shows flashes.
He has
don't give him the ball.
I don't like him being on not him. I don't truly believe that he's not him. Like I think if they use him correctly, he can be 3rd best tight end probably in the league after Kelsey and Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
So, they really got to figure it out in Atlanta as far as how to use him correctly. Like, they clearly have a good connection between Mariota and Drake London. I think you can use Pitts in a similar way. Like, he has the profile of an elite wide receiver, too. So, it's been a tough look. If you're a fantasy manager that has Kyle Pitts, hopefully better days are ahead. But I don't know after hearing Arthur Smith talk about him.
I believe he started kind of slow. I think he actually had a good debut. Then after that, kind of had started. Then had a.
I had him last year on my team. He was very boom or bust.
Yeah, very up and down.
Yeah,
but still finished with like 1,000 yards. So even though he only had, I think, 1 or 2 touchdowns in the season, he got some more receptions and things and added up. So I think there's still a lot of room for him to improve. They played the Seahawks this week, who I think are a defense that can be exploited just enough for him to get some more touches than what he's had so far.
Seahawks at home with the 12 man is a little bit different.
Sure. But I think there's still room enough for him to get the ball more than he has so far. I'll be looking forward to that. But I think him being in this is more about the scheme thing, the team, than actually him and his performance there. So I hear you though.
Yeah, and then lastly, I got his former quarterback. I got retire him on this one. Matt Ryan, 195 yards, 3 interceptions, 0 points against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know Michael Pittman, his wide receiver 1, was out. I know that they really don't have a true wide receiver 2, but to put up 0 against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are a solid defense, not elite, not bad, but 0 points with Jonathan Taylor, one of the best players in football on the team, is embarrassing. Starting off, I guess they're 0-1-1 now because they tied the Texans.
Nasty.
Matt Ryan was supposed to be a slight upgrade, they thought, I think, over Carson Wentz, and he's looked like a severe downgrade to this point.
Wentz said, watch this. My gosh.
Matt Ryan, it might be time for you to hang up the cleats. You got to show me something in week 3 because it's not looking pretty right now for Matt Ryan and the Colts.
You think he should pull Andrew Luck and just retire after the game next week if it doesn't go well, or what? I don't know what the backup is.
Andrew Luck, man, like he was a really good quarterback, and they just did not protect him. Like if he had the protection that Wentz got and Phillip Rivers got, like they might have had a Super Bowl type run.
Right,
with Jonathan Taylor as he is. So tough break for Andrew Luck, but Matt Ryan needs to follow suit and retire for sure. Yeah.
Wrap it up, bud. That's tough.
So that's it for my not him of the week.
Gosh, yeah, I'm with you on that. I agree that those guys definitely are not him this week. I was trying to think off the top of the head because you have that as your segment, and then I kind of have my other stuff. I couldn't think of who I also would put in this segment, but I definitely agree with all the guys that you had there. Definitely another good one. So you guys in the comments and those watching, definitely let us know who you guys has your not him of week 2, and we'll definitely talk about those as you bring them up. So definitely fun things in that regard. Now moving on to more fun things as I talk about for my Him Zone segments, best pregame fits, best celebrations and things of that nature. Start at the top with the fits themselves. Definitely were a lot of fun ones. It felt like guys took a minute. Guys like to post their pictures and things and make sure they got all styled right. At first, I felt like guys were taking a little too long to post their pictures. I wasn't seeing a whole lot of pregame fits before games. All I saw were a few guys had some nice all black fits. Xavier McKinney for the Giants was honorable mention, a nice all black suit. Jalen Hurts on Monday night going there had a nice all black suit as well, nice shades on, all that kind of stuff. definitely was a good thing. But once they got all the pieces that they wanted right and got all the angles and whatever they needed to do to get their fits off properly, I started to find a whole bunch of more guys that were shown to really put on Sunday and Monday. So Donovan Peoples-Jones for the Browns, while the game might not have gone well for him, definitely had a nice fit as he was going in. He had a green Bottega Veneta sweater as well as the Bottega Veneta shoes on the bottom. Had some Montfrere jeans on that had a nice two-tone pattern to them that I really liked. Those definitely were cool. While I was going away from the all black, AJ Green had a real nice all black Amiri fit on that I really enjoyed with the chains popping and all that kind of stuff. Really liked that he had on Sunday. And then going away from that, Rashad Bateman, loved what he put on. It was like a brown cardigan, had like a pink stripes along it as well. Definitely had a real nice pop to it. Had some flares on the bottom as well that I really liked, as that's the trend right now. Definitely love when folks rock those. And it's red ricks on his feet that look nice as well. Those definitely were impressive. And then the one that popped the most to me, and I wanted to find a picture of it. I wanted to put it on here if I could, but maybe I'll put it up on the screen later on. How do you say his name? There was a guy. His name is, I think he says Davon Davon Gacho. He plays for the Patriots. Had this real crazy outfit on with it was like a white low shirt. It's like I almost want to say it's like a cloudish type design with black and blue and a little bit of gray mixed in. That really complimented him real well. And then he had some Issa Miyake pants on the bottom that are real dope. It had a real wide flare to them. Loving the full flare and loose style that has come back around. I went not really 90s style. It's definitely a more modern look to it, and definitely loved how he rocked it. Then he had some Geiger Air Force Ones on his feet that really just all together looked great on him, and I really enjoyed that. And I actually picked him as my fit of the week. Really enjoyed how he put it all together. It's a crazy fit. I'll show you again afterwards. But yeah, definitely enjoy how he put it on, and definitely were some impressive fits that I saw on
throw
Sunday.
The pictures up for sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely have the pictures up. Yeah, you guys will see. But yeah, Devon Gacho for the Patriots. I know the Patriots aren't exactly my team, but when I see guys that put on, I gotta give them credit where it's due, and he definitely did that. So salute to him for that. And then moving on, that was best pregame fit. Some other ones, best TD celebration. I got 3 that were good and then 1 that was bad, but it's for a funny reason. The one that I really enjoyed, Devontae Adams caught a nice touchdown against the Cardinals and went up and wanted to do a full dunk on the goalpost, but went under the legs and faked it. You know it was a fake. It really looked cool. I like how he did that. I think it's a fine these days now if you dunk on the goalpost. Okay. So he went and faked it like he was going.
No Fun League is still at it.
Couldn't put it through, but really still like that celebration a whole lot. Okay. And another one that I really enjoyed, Stephon Diggs, one of his 3 touchdowns. He caught one and did the genuine thing. The little head nod thing. That was really funny. Definitely enjoyed that. And yeah, that definitely was a fun one. Another one, I said we were going to see a whole bunch of the gritty this year, and I thought it was from Justin Jefferson, but actually this one that we saw came from Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts.
Oh, Jalen Hurts. Okay.
Yeah, he ran a touchdown against the Vikings and did the gritty versus them, and that's why I had to point this one out. Doing it again.
I thought you were gonna say the Mike Gesicki one.
Oh no! See, that was my one bad one. That was the funny one. Mike Gesicki doing the gritty. That was the bad one. And while it was bad, it was just hilarious because
that was funny though.
Completely wrong. And he was like, I practiced in the mirror and thought it was good, but it didn't quite come out as I thought it would on the field. So yeah, Jalen's gritty, Devontae's under the leg dunk, Stephon hitting the genuine, and then on the opposite side, kinda. Gesicki doing his version of the gritty, the white boy gritty, whatever you want to call it that. Definitely were my celebration of the week. So definitely some fun ones there. I've noticed that not always, but it seemed like there are times when the camera cuts away before guys can celebrate. They made a big thing a few years ago once the rules didn't say that guys could celebrate, and we saw the most elaborate dance moves and choreography and everything. But now these days, I feel like they only let guys really show on the move that they want in celebration.
I saw one. It was like, I think the Packers, they were like pouring up shots or something for each other, like with the football.
Right. So all types of stuff like that. there's not as much of the team full choreographed stuff these days. But even in that, either way, there are times where I was trying to find it, and you would see the highlight, and right before they showed the celebration, it would cut off. So hopefully the NFL going forward, make sure they shows how guys show themselves celebrating the end zone and all of that, so we can have more discussion. But those that watch games live and know this guys having fun celebrations, definitely let me know about those in the comments as well. So I'm sure there are plenty more that I may have missed. So a good thing there. And then the last one,
I was gonna say Jalen Waddle could probably be on there every week.
Oh yeah. The like I said last week, I mentioned that last week for that reason. You can put the Waddle in here every week if you wanted to, with how he's going to be doing that. So definitely a fun one. Also, then going on beyond that, best extended plays or trick plays or however you want to describe it. There were some great ones. This first one actually isn't not exactly a trick play, but I had to call it out. Devin Duvernay with that opening kickoff versus the Dolphins. Yeah, definitely when you see kick returns like that, have to give a salute to that. That was an impressive play. Duvernay didn't do a whole lot more in the game, to be honest, after that. But even still, that one play definitely started us off in good momentum, with great momentum. And definitely want to salute him for that. So definitely was a great one. Another one that I saw. While there are many plays that we saw, Diggs caught 3 touchdowns against the Titans. Those were the only scores in that game. And Josh Allen had a nice screen play to Gilliam, I think, who was their fullback. They brought down when the receiver motioned them down that they were going to do a run the opposite way, do a little play action, turn back the opposite way, and Gilliam caught it and had to kind of take a step back and bounce around and fight his way through, ending up in the end zone. It definitely was an impressive play that had to be mentioned this week amongst all the other ones that the Bills were able to pull off. So there was salute to Josh and the Bills for that. Creativity there in that play. And then another one that's an extended play, Mahomes against the Chargers on Thursday night, was scrambling and ran around, was trying to find somebody, couldn't find somebody, but ended up finding McKinnon going into the end zone, and hit a little sidearm. Everybody loves his sidearms and no-look passes and all of that. He was able to find McKinnon going into the end zone, and definitely was impressive how he was able to sling that to him and get him in for a touchdown. So definitely was a great one. And then the last one that's kind of in the same lane as Duvernay, Mike Jackson for the I think it was the Seahawks. They had blocked the – I think I read that right. They had blocked the field goal. And he returned it for a touchdown. You don't step that too often. So just wanted to salute him for that impressive play. So definitely a whole lot of fun ones. If I had to pick one, really like the design of that Gilliam play. So Josh Allen and Gilliam, I think, were the best trick play I saw of the week. So if there are any other ones that you guys saw, definitely let me know about those as well. And that's a quick hymn zone for you guys going on for week 2. So definitely fun things there. And that actually is not it for the hymn zone. We want to start adding to it. We had a whole lot of good segments that we had already in regards to the hymn BP and all of that. We're going to be adding to it as well. I wanted to add a them segment. You have him for the individual guy having the best performances of the week and things of that nature. And I wanted to also add a them highlighting the best teams as we go along. We actually won't talk about it, and we won't have a ranking this week. Right. What I wanted to do was every 3 weeks as the season goes on, we will have an official them ranking for the best teams who we think for the best Super Bowl teams that we believe are positioned to make runs. There are teams right now that are hot, like the Washington Commanders or like the Lions, who we pointed out. And as good as they are, I don't know if they're going to be Super Bowl contenders as we go on down the line. Sure. So the them segment is more pointing out who we think is continue to put themselves in best position to make a run in the playoffs as we go on through the season. So we'll have our first one after next week, and looking forward to that. But definitely want to continue adding to the hymn zone and continue to have more fun segments for you there. So good stuff there. Anything else in the hymn zone you wanted to mention real quick, Alec, or is that all?
No, I think that's all. Let's get to week 2.
Definitely fun stuff there. Plenty of things to talk about there. And now the next fun part of the show, we have our quick picks for week 3. With it last week, week 1, I won. I think I went like 7-8-1 or something like that. Yeah. Alec, you went 6-9-1. Yeah. This week it flipped. You went 9-7 for week 2. I went 7-9. So we're 1-1 if you want to do a little ranking. We can do some kind of head-to-head and see who wins the most weeks. And at the end, we'll let the fans pick maybe Let them say, or we can figure out some kind of punishment or whatever for the loser who has the most wrong picks as we do our quick picks each week. But yeah, there'll be fun things there, and look excited for this week 3. There's a lot of good matchups. So week 3 quick picks. Let's jump into it. Thursday, Steelers at Browns. They have the Browns at 4.5 points. Who you got?
I think we all lose because we have to watch it. Browns. Are the Browns 0-2 or they're 0-2, right?
They might be 0-2. I'm blanking, but
I think they lost against the Panthers.
Right. Oh no, they beat the Panthers. They're 1-1. They're 1-1.
1-1, yeah. So both teams are 1-1. It's a stinky game, dude.
Very stinky.
I want to say the Steelers. I think Watt being out kind of hurts the defense, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Steelers.
I will take the Browns. The Browns were up on the Jets before blowing that lead, and I think they have shown a little bit more that they have just a better team so far, even in the struggles, than the Steelers have as they have gone through their ups and downs. Also, I just don't trust Mr. Trubisky right now. I think this is the game where he has the last blunder that allows Pickett to come in and take over that team going forward. So, yeah, I'm picking the Browns in that one. Now going on to Sunday, Bills at Dolphins. Dolphins at – oh, no, I think I got that wrong. Bills at 6.5. My apologies.
Oh, Bills.
Bills.
It could be a good game, but
it should be a very good game. It's in Miami. I know what the Dolphins just did, but I got to go with the Bills too.
Yeah, people are saying, like, I saw a tweet. It was like, are the Bills the Georgia of the NFL, like how Georgia is in college football?
Right.
It's getting close to looking like that right now.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously they need to win. They haven't won anything
I like
yet.
that comparison. But as you saw, Georgia won the whole thing last year, didn't they? So it could be their year. So, yeah, fun things there. Going on, Bengals at Jets. Bengals at Jets. Bengals at 5.5.
I'm not as confident as I'd like to be in this, but I think the Bengals will win this game. It's a game that they need to win. It's a game that they should win. It's a get-right game, as last week should have been against the Cooper Rush Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they do win this game.
I'm taking Joe. I'm rolling with the elite quarterback, and I think Garrett Wilson and those boys continue to take advantage of this Bengals squad.
Oh, you're taking that, Joe? I thought you were saying Burrow.
Oh no, I'm taking Joe Flacco, the elite, the actual elite quarterback of the
Joe. Wrong Joe.
No, the right Joe, Joe Flacco. I'm taking them, and I think that the Jets at home can pull off the upset versus the Bengals there. So gonna be another good one. Excited to see how that plays out. I'm going on Raiders at Titans. Raiders at 1.5 points.
For the sake of my other fantasy team, I'm gonna say Titans. I'm gonna say Derrick Henry finally has one of those vintage Derrick Henry games.
Mm-hmm.
This is a battle of two 0-2 teams, so both are desperate for a W.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, the Raiders had looked more competitive, but the Titans did just play like the best team in the league, probably. And they embarrassed the Rams too, so they might be embarrassing a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm.
It could go either way, but I'm gonna go with the Titans.
Based on division and the two teams that need wins more, the Raiders in that AFC West need to win more than the Titans do. I think the Titans still, with the Colts there, still struggling as well, have some room potentially to lose another game in this situation. I think they do just that. I'm going with the Raiders. I think Derek Carr and Devontae really get a roll in this game. Moving on, Saints at Panthers. Saints at 3 points.
I'm gonna go with the Saints. I think there's still injury concerns with Winston still. Like he played through it last week, but still kind of banged up.
A lot of pain. He said.
Yeah, but I like the Saints team. Not as like Super Bowl contenders, but I think they're a solid team on both sides of the ball. And the Panthers, Baker is mid, like we know, and they're not really getting McCaffrey and DJ Moore involved in the passing game as much as they should. So it's looking like Matt Rule might be on the hot seat for sure.
Yeah, a whole lot of guys on the hot seat over there. It's nasty, but I'm going with the Saints as well. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I'm moving on. They had the Ravens at 3.5 points last week against the Dolphins. Only have them at 2.5 now going into New England versus the Patriots. Ravens at Patriots. Ravens at 2.5. Who you got?
I like the Ravens.
Yeah.
I'll say like 2 scores too.
I believe so too. I think this is a game that they hold on to the lead this time and don't play around.
Yeah.
Moving on, Lions at Vikings. Vikings at 5.5.
Yeah, no, I like the Vikings at home, going back home in a get right game too. After an embarrassing loss against the Eagles, the Lions are going to fight. Like they're going to make these games competitive for sure. I think it may be a close one, but I like the Vikings coming back home and kind of going off as they did against the Packers in Week 1. So
I'm not intentionally going against you every time now, but I do think the Lions actually will steal this game. I think Jerry and them boys can really keep that thing rolling and can upset this Viking squad that, as you said, is hoping for a bounce back. So yeah, at the Lions in that one. Moving on, Eagles at Commanders. Eagles at 6.5 points.
Revenge game for wins, but I do think the Eagles are a little bit better team. The defense is more complete. Pretty good pass rush for sure, and then secondary with Slay back there. Hurts is looking like a potential MVP candidate if he keeps it going. Yeah, I like the Eagles in this one. I like the Commanders to maybe make it kind of a game, but this might be like the start of the fall off for the Commanders.
You think they cover?
What is that?
That was what you were saying. You think they cover?
No, I'm gonna say no. They don't cover.
Okay, no. I have the Eagles too, but I think it's gonna be a good game. I actually don't think that the Commanders fall off. I do think that they don't finish. They don't win this division, of course, but I think they have a really high-powered offense, surprisingly. And if Wentz can just stay afloat, that they could be a team to be that could really apply some pressure there. So
Curtis,
should be a good one.
Curtis Samuel, comeback player of the year, maybe. He's looking
Curtis,
good.
yeah, a whole lot of guys. Yeah, impressive stuff there. So that was another good one. Here should be a nasty one, low key. Chiefs at Colts. Chiefs at 5.5.
Oh, Chiefs blowout.
Yeah. I had nothing waste time on that. Texans at Bears. Bears at 2.5.
Texans at Bears. Probably the Texans. They've looked decent to start. Their defense, tied with the Colts and then lost a close one to the Broncos. Their defense has looked okay. So I'm gonna go with the Texans here. The Bears offense has looked anemic. Like they can't get anything going. They don't really let Justin Fields throw the ball very much. Cole Kmet's got nothing through the first 2 games. Darnell Mooney's got pretty much nothing through the first 2 games. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Texans.
Yeah, they can't pass the ball a whole lot, but I think they may be able to establish the run game enough. To steal this game against the Texans. So I got Justin and the Bears beating them. In this, even still with what you said. Jaguars at Chargers. Chargers at 7 points.
Jaguars at Chargers. I like the Chargers. I don't know if they cover, but I like the Chargers. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars have been surprisingly not even surprisingly. I said before the season started, I was interested to see how they play post hire. With Doug Peterson as head coach and Trevor Lawrence getting to air it out more and getting Christian Kirk, who may not be a wide receiver 1, but he's solid. He's been good.
Playing like one right now.
He's been solid. So yeah, I think they're better than last year, and I think they'll be competitive while they might not make the playoffs. So yeah, I think the Chargers win, but it's closer, I guess, than 7 points.
Yeah, this lucky was the hardest one for me because I think the Jaguars have not a real good, but have a good enough team to hold a fight, especially against an injured Herbert who's still recovering from his rib injury. But I'm gonna stick with the Chargers, but I think it's gonna be a fight all the way through. So looking forward to that one. Moving on, Rams at Cardinals. Rams at 3.5.
I don't really like either team right now. At the Cardinals too. I'll say the Rams just because the Cardinals secondary has been kind of poor, and Cooper Kupp is going to feast for sure. If Stafford's building some chemistry with Robinson, that's a good sign. So I'm a lean Rams, but I'm not really impressed with either team right now.
Yeah, same kind of thing. I'm going Rams.
Yeah.
Moving on, Packers at Bucks. Bucks at 1.5 points.
This one could go either way, but I'm gonna go Bucks. It kind of depended on their health because they got a lot of guys hurt.
Okay. Yeah, that was my thought. Bucks are actually no. My thought was Packers. It was because the Bucks have so many injuries there.
Yeah.
So because they, even though the Packers' offense is kind of wonky, they have to figure out the wide receivers. I think they're healthier than the Bucks, and that's really gonna be the difference there. So yeah, Packers find a way to get that done. Saying the last Sunday game, Falcons at Seahawks. Seahawks at 1.5 points.
I like the Seahawks, actually. I like them at home in that environment, getting a little bit of an edge there. They're definitely one of the bottom teams in the NFL, but they're not like horrible, as we saw in Week 1 against the Broncos. I think both these teams aren't very good, but I like the Seahawks at home. Like maybe if the Falcons were home, I pick them, but I like the Seahawks at home.
Purely for fantasy purposes, this is Kyle Pitts' coming out party against the Seahawks. I'm going with the Falcons.
2 catches for 19 yards once again.
I hope not. Don't even put that in the air again. Can't do it. Then Sunday night, Niners at Broncos. Niners at 1.5.
Give me the Niners. I like Jimmy G coming in there for Trey Lance. I'm very unfortunate about Trey Lance breaking his ankle out for the season. But I think he does raise their floor, while Trey Lance might have had the higher ceiling potentially. You know what you're getting with Jimmy G, and what he gives you wins a lot of regular season games and typically gets you to the playoffs. So the Broncos haven't impressed, I don't think, anyone, especially Nathaniel Hackett as head coach.
Yeah. To be honest, I think he's already on the hot seat.
He really should be.
Because his decision making has been terrible.
And clock. Some of the decision making has been really poor. Russ was good in game 1, okay in game 2. Javonte Williams really should be the bell cow, but they have the splits between him and Melvin Gordon. I'm gonna go with the 49ers here. Yeah,
Jimmy G statement game. Even in Denver, I think Jimmy G shows why teams all were ready to call for him if they needed a quarterback. So I'm rolling with them. And then Monday night, this might be a very nasty game. We shall see. Cowboys at Giants. Giants at 1.5 points.
Okay. It's probably a close one. Those NFC East games are usually pretty contentious. I would say the Giants, because I'm not confident in Cooper Rush-led Cowboys. Like, they did get the win over the Bengals, which is embarrassing for Cincinnati. But, I think the Giants should be able to exploit a Cooper Rush-led Cowboys team. I think Saquon should have a better game than he had last week. I'm going to go with the Giants there.
Even with Cooper Rush there, I trust Micah in that defense more than I trust Saquon in that offense. And I think Cooper can do enough to get them the victory there. So I'm going with the Cowboys. Hurts me to say a little bit.
One of our records is going to look really good, and one's going to look bad.
Yeah, it's going to be nasty. We had a lot of opposites here. But I like that. It wasn't intentional, but it ended up playing out that way. And, it should be a fun week. Again, let us know what you guys' picks are in the comments. Let us know what picks you think we got completely wrong before the games, and we'll be sure to talk to you guys about it all. And definitely be another fun week of football. So excited for week 3. As we said, after that, we'll come back with our rankings for our Super Bowl favorites afterwards. So fun thing across the board. Anything else you want to talk about NFL-wise before we get out of here?
I don't believe so. No.
That is it for the show then. We might, as we have talked about in our introduction for season 4, we do want to talk about all things sports. It's not just an NFL pod by any means. We talk about basketball and football a whole lot, and we've seen NBA rankings coming out. There's been trades going on. We might come back around during the weekend or sometime soon. I'll talk about some things that have been going on. So I'm stay tuned for some NBA stuff on the way as well. And again, just appreciate you guys for all the love you guys have been showing us. Again, follow us online, IG and TikTok at section.300. Follow us on Twitter at Section Sports. I'm your boy G. Follow me at Just Say G everywhere. Follow Alec at LakersFan24 online. Appreciate all the love. Subscribe to the show, all that great stuff. See you guys again next week. We'll have guests and things on the way as well. Definitely some fun things for you guys. And appreciate you for the love, man. We out of here. Peace.
Deuces.